Do you find it hard to cry and show your emotions? Is it hard for you to express your feelings? Do you bottle things up? Do you ignore your pain instead of releasing it? We think we're stronger if we just push forward, if we don't face our pain, if we don't face our grief, if we ignore it, if we bottle it up, if we push it under the carpet. But it actually makes us weaker because we're carrying around that heaviness with us, and we need a way to be able to release it or to express it. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach. I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse, and I also offer twin flame and spiritual guidance. This is the thing, we've been told for generations, don't cry, especially boys. It's like, big boys don't cry. It's like, bottle things up, don't show emotion. It's like you're stronger for not expressing yourself. You're stronger if you keep it to yourself. And this is the way we are. And for a long time, sometimes we might have expressed ourselves and it might have been received badly, or we might have been told, I hate this, right? You know what? I used to do this as well. But somebody starts crying, you're like, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. It's okay, don't cry. And it's like, why are you telling the person not to cry? Let them fucking cry. You know what I mean? Crying is healthy. It's actually, it's a painkiller. It actually, it heals pain, and it just releases it. It gets, I've said this before, if you're sick and if you've got toxins in your body, you need to sweat it out. You need to propel those things out of your body in some way, shape or form. Your trauma is a toxin. Your trauma is that kind of dis-ease within you. And if you ignore your pain, if you ignore your grief, it's building up, it's building up, it's building up, it's building up. I've said this before, it's like that heavy backpack. Every time you ignore your feelings, every time you refuse to cry, you're literally putting a heavy rock in your backpack every single time, and you're not letting it go. So your bag is getting heavier and heavier and heavier. You know what I mean? Like, that is hard. Like, you go through life and you don't cry. So many people I know have said to me, I don't cry. I haven't cried since I was a child. It's like, whoa, ow. That's a lot. I cry a lot. I cry every day. Maybe not every day, but if I'm healing, I cry every day. And I'll force myself to cry. So this is it. A lot of the times we'll ignore, people have said to me, I won't watch a soppy movie, or I won't watch this movie or that movie because it will make me upset. And I'm like, you have to cry. You have to release. So if I know I'm going through a healing cycle, I'll deliberately watch a movie that triggers me, or I'll deliberately watch a movie that I know is going to make me cry, especially Disney movies. Most Disney movies I'm crying from start to finish. It's not just the end of them, it's all the way through. And I will deliberately watch something I know that will upset me because I know I need to release something. You know what I mean? So I will actually force myself to cry. I'll allow myself to purge that. I'm going through another heart opening the last couple of weeks. I was closed off again. And I was doing the avoiding. I was avoiding. Actually, that was it. I was avoiding because normally when I'm in my heart open energy, I'll watch rom-coms. I'll watch things that open my heart. I don't mind having a quick cry here and there. So that's me heart opening. That's me purging. For the last month, I went into this closed heart energy again. So I was watching action movies after action movie after action movie. And I was deliberately watching ones, I normally, when I'd look for an action movie, I'd look for an action rom-com. Make sure there's a little bit of a love story in there. But the last month, it's just action. It's like John Wick kind of energy. There's no love scenes at all. I know he does it for love, but there's just no romance in those movies whatsoever. So I literally, for the last month, avoided anything that would make me cry. I didn't even talk to my friends about what was going on within me because I was just in this energy of, I was just so closed off and I wasn't expressing myself. And this really fucked me up for the last month. I've said this before. We can close off from the world. We can become hyper independent. We can ignore our grief. We can ignore our pain. And the less we let people in, the stronger we think we are. But it actually makes us weaker. And I said this over a couple of years ago. I was so closed off after walking away from so many people, after becoming so isolated, after, being hurt so many times, that I stopped even talking to my friends. You know what I mean? It was like, are you okay? I'm fine. How are you? I'll fix you, but I won't fix myself because I'm just going to stay here. If I don't let you in, I won't be hurt. But I was getting weaker and weaker and weaker. Do you know what I mean? And I was afraid to open up. I was afraid to be vulnerable. I was afraid to express myself. And it got to the stage, I remember even barely being able to cry in front of my friend. And she's like, push the tears back in, I can't cry in front of you. Now I'm like literally ugly crying every time I need to in front of my friends. But for the last month, I wasn't doing that. I was in the energy of, no, if I don't tell anyone what's going on in my heart chakra, if I don't tell anyone why I'm in pain right now, then it's not real. And that's what we do. It's like, if I don't address it, if I ignore it, if I push it under the carpet, it disappears. It does not fucking disappear. And for the last month, I've been going around really heavy, really emotional, really weak, avoiding to express myself, and, afraid to talk to my friends again. And I was just like, I had to do a meditation for me to, I have to do meditations all the time, but I had to do a specific past life regression one for me to realize what I was doing. And then on the Monday, I spoke to my friend and I started crying and everything. And I was just like, oh, fuck, I needed this. And this week I've been watching rom-coms again so that I'll have a cry. I read Chicken Soup for the Soul, love stories, and so they're crying and angry through the whole thing. But I needed that. I needed to release that. This is another thing as well. We think we have to be strong. So we can go through something. And this is what happened for me a month ago. Like, I went through something and I literally was like, no, it's fine. I'm fine. It happened for a reason. Everything does happen for a reason. Everything that hurts you, everything that pains you, there's a lesson in that. But sometimes for me personally, I've learned how to forgive. I've learned how to understand that there's a lesson in something. I understand that it's for my highest good. But most of the time lately, I will go through that side of things first, and I'll start to go, it happened because of this. It didn't happen because of this. It's not because of me, it's because of them. Or, I was like, I forgive it. Or, I understand it's for my highest good. I understand it has to open me up. All this kind of stuff. I logicked it. I don't know if that's the word. But I did, I logicked it for, I don't know if that's the word. But you get me. I just logicked my way through it. So I literally bypassed my grief. So, and I only realized this week, and I've done this so many times. I've done it so many times that I've bypassed my grief. And even with family members, whatever it is, my twin flame, whatever it is, I'll go through I'm strong, I'm empowered, I'm an independent divine feminine. I understand why this happened. I forgive it. I move on. And then you're this strong energy, and you're like, every day you're getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And then you just literally, it's like a dam bursting. And that's what happened for me this week. My heart broke open because my heart was broken the whole fucking month. But I hid behind the walls that I put up. So my broken heart was behind these walls. So the minute I spoke to my friend, the walls came down and the whole thing just burst like a dam, burst out. And it was really helpful. But I realized I was ignoring my pain. I logicked my way through it and ignored my grief. And we do this. It's like, I have to be strong. I have to move on. This happened for this reason. So, I'm strong. I've got this. But what you're doing is putting a wall around the broken pieces. But those broken pieces are still in there. That pain is still in there. And for the last month, every morning I got up. Now, I have purpose in my days. Do you know what I mean? I have things to do every day. I'm fulfilling my mission. Do you know what I mean? So I'm in good form after I start doing the things I do. But every morning for the last month, before I started my work day, I was in this kind of energy of emptiness. It was emptiness. It was like just real lack energy. This real kind of like there was something missing. And every morning it was the same. It was like this sadness, this grief. But I wasn't facing it. And the reason I wasn't facing it is because I wasn't allowing myself to acknowledge it. I was hiding behind those walls, those brick walls. And it was only last week that I realised that I had to open up again. Because not only had I hidden behind the walls and ignored the pain I was going through, I'd stopped talking to my friends about it. So I completely, I was like, I can't talk about it, I can't make it real. And that was my biggest fear, is like, if I speak about this, it's going to make it real. But I was carrying that pain around for the last month. And it was very real. So every day, I couldn't ignore it. It was still there every single day. And only in expressing it, only in speaking about it, did I get to release it. Or at least acknowledge it to release it. And that's the thing, like, I had to, like, if we were, I know that we have to face, feel, and release. And that's what it is. So any kind of childhood trauma, any kind of trauma or grief that we go through, we have to face it, we have to feel it, and we have to release it. But if we don't face it and feel it, we can't release it. So if we ignore, we don't face. If we ignore, we don't feel. If we ignore, we don't release. But it's still there. So for the full month, I was literally going, I'm ignoring this, because it's unconscious, obviously. I'm ignoring this, it's fine, I'll push it under the carpet, it doesn't exist. I know why it happened, so therefore I'm okay. And in actual fact, my heart was shattered. Completely fucking shattered. And I just hid that pain behind those walls. And that's what we do. Any kind of grief we go through, we hide behind walls. We're like, I don't need to talk about this. I don't need to express it. I don't want to make it real. You know what I mean? And it's real because we're not making something real if we express it. We're allowing ourselves to let go of it. Do you know what I mean? And a problem shared is a problem had. Big time. Do you know what I mean? And like to have somebody just listen to you, actively listen to you and, you know, reassure you or, you know, just not even have to give you advice or anything, but just listen. And it's like, I just needed to open my heart. Because as I said, my heart was closed due to the heartbreak, but my heart was closed as well because I was afraid to open up. So like, you're not like, you know, when we're in closed heart energy, we can't receive anything. Our abundance doesn't flow. So you can't receive love, you can't receive prosperity, you can't, like, your whole life ends up being blocked. Now, don't get me wrong, I was still moving forward with my career side of things. Everything was still, like, nothing was stagnant for me. But I was still waking up every single day in this painful energy. Really painful energy. You know what I mean? Obviously, it was just the morning time because I was so busy. I love Mondays. Mondays are my favourite. Because if I have a healing weekend, which is most weekends, a Monday is so busy for me. I'm like, ooh, I'm fine. And that's the thing. It's like, we distract ourselves as well. It's like we end up distracting ourselves at work. And this is the thing. If I have a deep healing weekend, Mondays are great. Because I have so much to do on a Monday that I forget what I was healing for a minute. Then Tuesday morning comes and I'm like, oh shit, I have a little less to do on a Tuesday. And there's more time to think. So like, it's like a yo-yo days. It's like Monday's good, Tuesday's bad, Wednesday's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, do you know what I mean? So like, but I allow myself to release when I face my shit, like, and every time I release. So back to the whole movie thing, I'll deliberately watch something that will make me cry. Like, I remember my friend even saying the other day, like, I hope some of the things I say don't trigger you. And I'm like, I want you to fucking trigger me, because if I don't cry, if I don't release, if I don't face the stuff within me, how am I supposed to heal it? You know what I mean? It's the same with it's not just grief, effectively. It's our trauma. So like, if we're constantly ignoring our trauma, if we're constantly pushing forward, not crying, not expressing, not releasing, not speaking our truth, that's blocking. There's like the pressure cooker energy. It's that volcano ready to erupt, and it comes out in unhealthy ways. It really does. It ends up coming out in anger, you know, addictions or overworking or over-exercising, all this kind of stuff, any way to distract yourself. You know what I mean? So we're constantly in this energy of trying to do anything but face our emotions. And that's why it's so good to have a trusted friend or somebody you feel safe with, you know, even a coach or a therapist, because you can literally just burst that dam open and feel okay about it. You know what I mean? And like, I was in the energy again of trusting my friends and being in the energy of, I can ugly cry in front of them, I can feel safe in front of them. Because of what I went through a month ago, I just closed completely off again. And I went into that energy again of, I can't talk about this. If I talk about this, it makes it real. And like, you know, it did make it real, obviously. Like, when I had to speak about it last week, it was the first time I spoke to anyone about it. And the dams burst open and I realised how much pain I was in. You know, I knew I was in pain for the last month. But only in releasing it did I realise how much pain I was holding in, hiding, or trying to avoid. You know what I mean? But like I'm still going through a little bit, but just because I released it or just because I spoke about it, I feel a lot better. I don't feel like it's not consuming me anymore, if you get me. Like the last month, I was literally creating bigger darkness for myself because I was hiding further and further and further and further behind my walls. Do you know? And I was like, I didn't want to face what I was feeling. That's it. Like, you know, we have to give ourselves time to grieve. We can't ignore our grief. And that was what I was saying to my friend last week. It was like, you know, I was telling her how important it was for me to release and how it's good that I'm crying. You know, it's not a bad thing that I'm crying. It was like, I've been in broken heart energy for the last month and I've hidden that broken heart behind my walls. And I haven't given myself a time to feel that. I did briefly when it happened. I briefly let myself feel it. But then I went straight behind the walls. And it's only in letting myself feel the pain again was I actually able to say, I feel lighter now. And I do feel lighter. I feel like I feel more heart open. Like the last few days, my heart feels more open again. You know what I mean? And I think that makes me feel better. Even though I'm feeling the pain of the heartache I went through, I feel lighter because my heart isn't closed and restricted and tense anymore. I'm allowing it out. So this is why, forget what people say. Forget this whole energy of what we've learned. It's not safe to cry, or it's not healthy to cry, or you're weak if you cry. You're strong if you cry. You know what I mean? I was weakening myself by not expressing myself to my friend. You know what I mean? I was weakening myself by, you know, hiding behind those walls. But the minute I opened up was the minute I actually became stronger. And I'm actually stronger than I have been in over a month because I actually shared my problem. Because I cried. Because I released. You know what I mean? Crying isn't weakness. Crying takes a lot of strength. You know, and I've been ignoring everything for the last month. You know, I've been really bypassing it. Like I was in complete action movie mode. I was like, you're not crying today. And don't get me wrong, I'd watch an action movie. I've watched John Wick. I cried watching John Wick. Just like each one, like every single one, there was a little bit of tears throughout each one. I cry with every movie. But like, you know, I cry less with an action movie than I would with a love movie. So I'm back watching those love movies again. I'm back allowing myself to cry. I'm back allowing myself to express myself. And I feel a lot better. So don't be afraid to cry. And you can do it in private if you don't have someone you can trust to feel safe with. Do it in private, but like it's okay. And don't be like, there's one thing. Anytime anyone cries in front of you, don't ever say, don't cry. It's okay. Well, you can say it's okay. What you say to a person if they're crying now is, I'm here with you, let it all out. Let it all out, let it all out, let it all out. That's what we should be saying to people when they're crying. Not this don't cry energy. Oh, don't ever say that. You know what I mean? So release, purge, let it out, open your heart. Feel safe to trust others, but don't bypass your grief. You know what I mean? Don't ignore it. It's there. It's there for a reason, and it's there for you to be able to release it. Pushing it under the carpet doesn't make it go away. It actually makes it louder and makes you weaker. So there's great strength in actually facing your demons, facing your grief, facing your pain, so that you can release it. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. If you'd like help on your journey, please book me for a free discovery call today. I'll love you more than to help you in your path. Also, I have another channel called Aligning with Angie, where I share guided meditation every week. The info for that is in the description box.